Hey there, Riverman fans. I'm Jason Ruff. Welcome back to another episode of the Drydock podcast. This is the podcast where we catch up with some Rivermen past, present, as well as take a look back at the season now that the ship is in dry dock. Although we are getting now into October, so the ship is getting ready to come out of dry dock, back into the water, and get set for the 43rd season of Peoria Rivermen hockey. Our next guest is not only the man who makes the trains run on time, he is the man who makes sure the trains run. Period. End of story here at the Riverman office. Riverman President and COO Bart Rogers. Bart, great to talk with you. I've got to ask, how has the summer been going on for you? Thanks so much for joining us.
I don't think the boat has ever left the waters. It's been a crazy summer. It's never been dry dock, but it's been a tremendous off season for the organization, coming off our second championship in 3 years, and just having a great off season of sales, both in our season tickets and sponsorship, and just constantly promoting our brand all summer long throughout
Second,
Central Illinois.
second championship in the last 3 years. How does winning a championship change your off season, if at all? What kind of unique challenges or even opportunities, like you said, are there when you actually win a championship? How does that manifest itself off the ice and in the off season?
Well, it definitely pushes your season further down the road. Players are here a few weeks longer for, the parades and the celebrations, but it just shortens maybe our off season a little bit, but in a good way, because the benefit from the back end of all that and winning, our second championship in 3 years, has portrayed over 300 new individual season ticket holders, something, I've been on and off here for over 33 years, something I have never experienced in that magnitude. You might gain 100, 125 in a year. You also lose a few. We didn't lose any, and we've gained over 300 individuals. That's not even including all the new sponsor season tickets. So, that was a tremendous feel. And then, what was unique and what we did after the first one in 2022, we took our trophy kind of around the community and paraded it around, for all of our partners who make this possible. And it helped renew those sponsors, and sign those sponsors back up, and just showed a great amount of pride to the community for us winning the championship, and then for those partners, corporate partners, having our back and making sure that we were able to do that each and every year.
You feel there's a tangible energy in this city when it comes to Peoria Riverman hockey. How have you personally been able to feel that energy in over the course of the summer so far?
Oh, it's great. I mean, we just came off going to a lot of different festivals, community festivals, and being out there a part of those for 3 or 4 days. Just seeing the excitement, hearing people that come to maybe a couple, 2 or 3 games, but want to come to more now, because of maybe coming to the final series and seeing how great that turned out for the organization. And again, we always have a great team on the ice. That's a testament to our coach and general manager, Jean-Guy Trudel, and his commitment to just creating a culture down there that is a winning culture. And if you don't want to buy into that, then they usually that player is not here the next day, and somebody else comes in. So, but it's been exciting all summer to just feel that. We felt it from all the merchandise sales to, again, going out into the community, to the different appearances, to the corporate sponsors appearances with the cup. It's just fun. It's a fun time when you win a championship. There's a lot of good things that come from that, and not many negatives. So we're excited for the upcoming season, and for everything that we've worked hard all summer to make sure the fans still can come out and enjoy great promotions and events like that, and great hockey.
Before we get on to this coming season that is only a few weeks away, hard to believe, I want to go back to that last weekend, that championship weekend, if you will. Rivermen are down in the best of three final series to Huntsville, 1-0. They're coming home for a Friday, Saturday, or excuse me, a Saturday, Sunday series. Where does that weekend rank for you just in terms of the hecticness of getting everything organized for game two and a potential game three, the excitement and the storylines from your perspective, because you have a unique vantage point. Not a lot of people get to see everything how you see it, whether you're up in the box kind of coordinating or down helping Katie or Andrew or running around and helping make sure everyone has the best possible experience they can. From your perspective, where does that weekend rank?
Near the top, for sure. I think anytime you win a championship, it's hard to maybe pinpoint one championship that's sweeter than the other. Back in 99, 2000, when we were in the ECHL, when we were down and went down to Louisiana and fought back and brought it back here to win in overtime. That was a phenomenal night as well. In our league, we play 3 to 5 game best of final series. So this series was a 3 game series because of scheduling and arena availability and those things back and forth. So, we went down and got beat that first game. Backs are against the wall. We're coming back. No team has ever came back when they've lost game one to win the championship. And we just have a belief here, that we can accomplish and overcome anything that's thrown at us, both at the business from the business side to the off ice or on ice situation. And the team came back and won, and it was just crazy. There's just so much that goes on that nobody really understands. As you know, from operating and being involved in sports, we have a very small staff here, but we're mighty and we're very experienced, and just people knew what to do and jump in to make sure their departments were ready to go in case if we won and in case if we didn't win. So for me, I oversee all the merchandise for the team, and that's a big part of the business when a team wins. So I mean, you had all that side of the business that had to be ready to go and in a moment's notice. And when we won, it got put in motion and t-shirts are made. Over 1,500 t-shirts are made in Iowa, and we're here in 2 days. Hats and things like that. And then we had the parade to try and figure out. And we had housing issues because we went on longer than our leases, were signed for. So there's so many things that people don't understand. But again, at the end of the day, it's what we do every day. Nothing goes as planned. It seems like ever, although you're always organized and try and be, over organized, ready to go for any situation. And, again, that's a compliment to everybody on our staff. You're only as good as the people underneath of you, and all of our people know what to do. They're all experienced. They all jump in, and we're all in it to both on the ice, on the hockey side, and both the business side to make sure our fans get what they deserve, and our brand is promoted the best it possibly can at all times.
What made this last championship so special in your eyes?
Winning it at home was for sure, much different than in 2022 when we won it in Virginia. I think that was special. Alec Hageman, his game 2 and game 3 heroics, uh, that was very special for everything he's given to this organization over his time. Um, and I think again, just to bring another championship to the city of Peoria, I think Coach said it best on the ice. There's nothing better than winning this in front of your home fans. It just makes it 10 times more special. And just to see all the people that stayed, the Civic Center literally has security, had to kick people off of the ice and out of the building because we were still here celebrating probably past midnight. So, and from an ownership standpoint, I started here as an unpaid intern, worked my way up, now part of the ownership group. I mean, just to sit back for me, I found it very special to be able to sit on the bench and look out and just see everybody celebrating with their families and getting their picture taken. And, we all put in a lot of effort, a lot of hours, not a lot of big pay. So, at the end of the day, to win a championship, to have something, a momentum like that, a championship ring to put on your finger. Not a lot of people get that, and we've been blessed to do it two out of the last 3 years here.
Yep, and 6,000 plus were able to see that, championship victory last season. I was shocked with the crowd size for those last 2 games, like 5,800 the first night in game 2 and then 6,000 in increase on a Sunday, no less.
Yeah, I mean, we turned those tickets around. I mean, it was crazy. Again, our small staff was sold the vast majority of those tickets through our office, both leading up and the next day. And that again was a testament to those guys in our ticket department, Katie and Josh and Andrew and Steph, who made it happen for our fans and made sure that people got tickets. Not that they couldn't have got tickets, but it's when it's the last second, there's not a lot of time to be able to purchase those tickets, to purchase them ahead of time, be ready to go. Just made sure people were in their seats a lot earlier, and we could get that momentum early and stay on top, which we did, and ended up winning the championship.
Anyone who knows you knows your story, like you mentioned, alluded to earlier. How you started off as an intern, now you're part of the ownership. In the middle, your background's in merchandise, and it's plain to see when you have so much good merchandise coming in through the Riverman doors into the Riverman team store, just seemingly, certainly every year, but seemingly every month, it's something new that's like, oh, that looks really cool. Where do you get the inspiration for all these great designs, and how do you get so many good ideas for just good, solid merchandise stuff? Because, like you said, merchandise is a big key of the puzzle.
Yeah, merchandise for us, it's one of our ancillary revenues that we control 100%. And coming out of COVID, it was a it was it was a question mark. I mean, let alone everything else in our program being off almost 2 years with no hockey here because of the pandemic. And coming out of that, I think fans really bought into merch, and it's not just our on in with our team success and that, but all across our league and minor league sports. It's crazy the amount of merchandise that's being spent year after year coming out of this pandemic. And it's kind of like the more you throw out and the more you try and the more you do, the more you sell and the more you can continue to bring in new products. So um a lot of my inspiration, I'll be honest, comes from my family. My wife, my daughter help sell the merchandise. My oldest used to help sell the merchandise. So they've kind of reeled me into a lot of the newer things and to try, and they've been very successful. But again, I think we offer a very affordable product from our jerseys down to a puck or a novelty item, and ours is about masses. I've always felt that that's marketing all the time. And we were out delivering schedules the last few days, and to see people, you stop in a business, they're wearing a Riverman sweatshirt, they're wearing a Riverman hat. I mean, it's just crazy the amount of merchandise you see throughout Central Illinois. So that's part of it, and again, part of it is a big financial picture. But we've almost doubled our merchandise in the last probably 4 years, and it'll continue to increase over and over, similar to our specialty jerseys that we wear on the ice throughout the season. So I think you just throw it out there, see if it works. If not, it doesn't. You try a new thing and move on. So but that's where I got my start here. I've really kind of overseen it all the way through, and I just really enjoy it because it's what I've always done. And it's really fun because again, products changing and more things are being made, and everything from like sun chairs and from championship rings to things that we've never ever have held into our inventory before. Now we're able to do that, so it's fun.
Do you have a certain merchandise item that is just so super memorable? Either the design was like, "Ooh, that was really cool," or "Oh, if I was a fan, I would be buying like 12 of those." Is there a certain merchandise item that you just think back like, "Oh, that was such a good design. I love that."
The designs are fun. It's fun to see what people really, what I might like is, and I think is cool, and I order it, might be a dead dog, and then something that comes in, or a special color that is on a t-shirt or a sweatshirt that you're like, and that's the hot item, and it blows up, out of the door. The fun thing I think is, now that we're buying a lot of things direct, and to be able to do the championship rings, and those things were almost a complete knockoff of the actual championship ring, and
Mhm.
for fans to be able to purchase those in both a medallion for the ladies was so cool. We sold over 1,500 of those from our last championship ring or championship run, and we're going to have them again this year, and they'll be here for opening night. And I think that was a fun thing because we had done championship rings in the past, nothing to that extent and nothing to that similarity. So I think that was a fun thing, coming out of the championship, just to see all the different products we're able to move and make, and that just people continually bought. And that's going to move forward with this championship as well when people come here opening night.
It makes sense because it gives fans a sense of inclusion that they're a part of that championship and they've got something to show it. Just as players, obviously, they went out and won it. They're actually going to get the real thing. Fans, I think, should definitely feel like they have some kind of ownership. They had some kind of stake in their mind. Certainly, they help with their cheers. They definitely did in the last
100.
two games. They certainly helped make that building loud and make it a hostile environment for the Havoc. So by having that ring, they feel like they have a little bit of ownership in that championship too.
100%. And that's why, coming out of the even before we were in the championship, we wanted to uh, really give we try and have nice items that our season ticket holders receive. But coming off of the success of all the jerseys and things like that, we wanted to give the fans or the season ticket holders who are our biggest supporters, along with our corporate sponsors, something that they could wear to really signify that they're a season ticket holder. So, anybody that purchased the season ticket before the deadline will receive, a customized um, season ticket holder jersey, which is cool because people are picking them up now with their season tickets. And again, they're proud to be supporters of the Rivermen. I'm proud to wear that brand, and now they're really going to be proud because they're going to be able to show off that they're a season ticket holder every time they wear that.
You mentioned earlier affordability. Now, we live in an age where everyone's counting pennies, everyone's making sure that their dollar goes the farthest. How do you draw a good balance between keeping things affordable so anyone who wants to can come in, spend some money and get a good product, get a good deal for their money versus being profitable?
That's challenging this day and age, but we've prided ourselves the last coming out of COVID, and we've pretty much held the line on our prices. We have raised our tickets a buck here or there, but our sponsorships have stayed the same. Even though our overall operating costs have went up 15 to 20%, some line items 30% and growing. So um, again, that's a testament to our staff here. We can't do it unless we're able to sell. We can't just do it off of the same amount of tickets we sell every year, the same sponsorship. We're able to do that. We sit down and we really think about, we put ourselves in the consumer's shoes to make sure that we're not pricing ourselves out, knowing what our expenses are to operate the franchise and what our goals are with the organization. So, when again, we have to sell more than we did each year, and we have done that. The increases in our tickets have been almost 20% each and every year coming out of COVID. Um, so, we're on a good roll. We've been able to hold the line on those costs to hopefully allow more and more people to be able to come out to our games. And as long as the expenses don't continue to increase like they have the last 2 or 3 years, we'll be in good shape and we can continue to do that moving forward.
Yeah, just so you don't have to pay your bloated broadcaster salary.
That's right.
Or, but someone's salary, you definitely, I think, should be bloated and greatly deserves is Jean-Guy Trudel. He is going to be this year the winningest coach in SPHL history. I think he's about 6 wins back from the all-time coaching record. He's been here for over 10 years. And you see other teams, Quad City certainly comes to mind. Other teams changing coaches, trying to find that right fit. Jean-Guy has been here since the Rivermen started in the SPHL. When you have that kind of consistency, that kind of success behind the bench, how does that translate to making your job a little bit easier?
Oh, gee, man, Christmas 1,000 times easier. I don't have to worry about the hockey side. It's handled by him. Now we have Eric Levine who stepped in last year to help with some games, and we hired him, to step in and be the assistant general manager to help him out as well with a lot of the detail work. But I mean, he's done it himself for over a decade, and he shouldn't be here. He deserves to be at a much higher level, and that's not even to the next level. He is a AAA coach or a assistant NHL coach in my mind. Just for his mindset, uh, how he coaches, how he builds. Again, I say the culture, but and he says it all the time, but the culture. You're either on the ship or you're not on the ship. He's old school. There's no ifs, ands, or or butts or in between. He makes sure that those players that are here are committed to and being proud to wear the jersey number one, want to be here, want to get better, no matter if you're a veteran or the first year out of college and this is your first pro stop. So again, we're blessed because he's committed to this arena of Peoria and Central Illinois and growing youth hockey and growing all the brands there. His commitment not only to the Rivermen, but to the Mustangs, which he's part owner, and to all of hockey to grow and bring players from starting out in hockey all the way to maybe playing for the Rivermen, like we've had so many, to kids getting their first, you know, college Division I scholarship. That's what makes him proud and that's what motivates him. And, I don't know how he does it for the amount of hours he puts in with the Rivermen to then, to go to Owen Center and coach every level of hockey and try and help everybody get better. I mean, again, that's a true testament of who he is and why we're successful is because of that commitment to growing hockey at all levels.
Absolutely. Jean-Guy is a machine, and he's a machine that does a really good job for a really, really good purpose. You mentioned jerseys, so I've got to ask, specialty jerseys. Give me your top three specialty jerseys that the Rivermen are going to be wearing this year. And as addendum to that, if you could, would you have every home game have a specialty jersey?
Well, we talk about that every year. We almost did it this year, but we didn't. So we have 20 out of the 28 games. So 8 games we'll have our actual jerseys that we wear and we sell. But again, we wouldn't continue to do it. We wouldn't continue to do that amount if people didn't love it and enjoy it and get excited for it. So we've got great jersey partners in K1 and OT Sports. OT Sports for us brings some of the licensing products like Nickelodeon and Margaritaville we have with Jimmy Buffett and Scooby Doo and the DC Comics, all those sort of brands. And then some of the unique ones that we do through K1. So uh, my favorites, one of them we can't even announce because it's the rebrand. That's
Hmm.
my favorite of all. So hopefully we'll be announcing that soon. And then some of the others, I don't know if I really have a favorite. I love the Veterans Day jerseys always. The flag jerseys are really cool. The championship one that we'll wear on opening night with all the guys, who won championships and their photos all over it. That's always a special one. So I think again to pinpoint what are my favorites, I like them all, or we wouldn't do them. But I think the ones that the rebrand and we're doing the Peoria Blades that turn back the clock. I mean, I've been here for again since 1992. I never even knew what that Blades name was until we had to take that logo and revector it and make it a little bit cleaner. And then I found out it was actually a Caterpillar tractor, the blade of the tractor that made up that logo and it just makes it even more special. And to have we'll have Mark Olson here and Mike Olson here and a lot of the former players on that night for that turn back the clock night representing the Blade. So again, I don't know if I have a special one, but they're all special and for sure the rebrand is always a fun one because I work with a designer to create that and to come up with the concept and to see that from start to finish is really fun.
The last 2 years, the Rivermen have hit home runs with the rebrand night, whether it's been the flying carp or the penicillin. You've showed me some of the designs for this year's, and I think the Rivermen are going to hit a home run again, make it 3 for 3. I'd be remiss though, Bart, if I didn't bring this up. It was announced this summer that the Peoria Civic Center has now on their schedule, on their docket, to put in an ice plant. A lot's been made, obviously, about working to get that ice plant put in, updated, so the Rivermen could have a long-term home. Now that the Civic Center is actually going to put in that ice plant, it's on their schedule, it's on their docket. How does that help the negotiations for a contract? How does that help move things forward, so to speak, between the Rivermen and Peoria Civic Center?
It's exciting, to have that in the coming in the summer of 2026. So we have a few more years to get through what we have currently, but to see that commitment from the city and the Peoria Civic Center Authority on the hockey product, which that's everything you see at a hockey game that needs to be used to promote a hockey will be all redone. So that's exciting to see. In regards to the long-term lease, I think we're close. We've been close for a long time. I think hopefully in the next month or two we'll be able to push that across the finish line and put all that behind us. And once the ice plant is done, we can just continue to move forward and hopefully continue to build upon year after year what we're doing here in the community. We're excited for it. We were excited to hear that a few weeks ago, and I think our fans should be as well.
That's awesome. I know certainly I'm excited hearing that. Another question for you, Bart. Ever since coming out of COVID, what has surprised you most about either the Rivermen, about the change in, managing a sports team, or just hockey in general? What has surprised you most coming out of COVID?
I think just the excitement for people to attend, minor league games, for instance, at our level. I don't know if people are not going on, vacation, or they're more of a stay vacation, spending more time locally. I think coming out of that, probably it gave people a little more appreciation for what we have local here, and not only in Peoria but other markets. And just to see the growth of our product. Like I said, it's been a 18-20% growth in our ticket sales each and every year. Coming out of a time where who knew what it was going to be. I mean, it could have been completely the opposite. And it wasn't all, hunky dory coming out of COVID. I mean, we had to grow. People had to feel comfortable about coming back into the arena, and or arena with thousands of people, you're sitting next to. So I think we're all past that, and we've seen the growth. We've had a lot of success coming out of that with the Rivermen winning 2 championships coming out of the COVID to really help us bump through that and get through it and get past it. So, the good days are ahead, and hopefully another great season. We've got a great schedule, over 14 giveaways, 20 specialty jerseys. We set, probably a 15 or 16-year record high in new season ticket sales, like I mentioned. Our sponsorships are almost sold out, or we're trying to find things for partners. So we're in a good position. We just, got to continue pushing forward and hope for the best.
Last question for you, Bart, before I let you go. What are you most excited for in this year? 43 years of Peoria Riverman hockey.
It's probably just the same every year. I just enjoy people. I enjoy the business of it, and I just enjoy people coming in and having a great time. When you work, when we all work in it, we take it for granted, right? And we forget about, hey, how it used to be to go to an event. So there's nothing better than seeing young kids come in excited to see the players and excited to, see our mascot. We're gonna have 2 mascots this year. We're bringing back the captain, so we'll be able to do double the amount of promotions and double the fan exposure with our mascots. And it's just seeing the enjoyment of fans coming here and seeing the success of a sponsor spending money with us, and seeing the back end return on investment of people coming through their business because of our brand. So again, we're in a good position, and just excited for the season to get started. And we're excited for the 25th when we pass out the rings, drop the banner, put the new 2024 number up on the big banner that you created last year. So just a lot of fun things, and ready to get it going.
We're excited. Only a couple of weeks away. Bart, thank you so much for your time. We'll talk to you again later on this year.
All right, thanks, Jason.